Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Rider Zero Spike, back again once again. And today, people, today we're here for Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 49, guys. We're on episode 49, and then next week is the final episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard. It's been a wild ride. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had our in the middles, and we've had some amazing fights, we've had some shiny fights, we've had some weird plots and things that really haven't been, really talked about. We've had some weird character interactions. We've had a lot when it comes down to Kamen Rider Gotchard, and I would say I do love this series. I wouldn't say love. Okay, I kind of feel the same way I feel about Gotchard is the same way I feel about Kamen Rider Geo, but that's a whole another conversation within itself. But at the end of the day, I like every Rider series and every Sentai series that I watch, some more than others, but I like Gotchard. I've had fun with Gotchard. It's been frustrating sometimes, but I do like this series a lot. I don't hate it to a point where I just completely drop it, because I don't know, I've never been able to completely just drop a Toku series. I like to stick to it throughout the end, and watch main show wise, watch everything from main show, and watch everything from the main show, and just have it under my belt, whether I liked it, whether I hated it, whether I was in the middle about it. I still like to stick it out to the end, because you never know. It could be some cool moments in there that I actually like and stuff like that, and I actually like having a conversation about it. But this episode was pretty cool. We got the debut of two new writers in this episode. Well, an ultimate form for our secondary writer, Mr. Kurogane Spanner, and we got the debut of Kamen Rider El Dorado, or Eldo, and this is Grion's rider form, his Kamen Rider form, after he created his own evil version of Blue Dragon little guy. Oh man, how did I forget old boy's name? Gungun, I think. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, he basically created a little evil version of him, a little black and gold evil version of him. But in this episode, we did see that Spanner does obtain his new rider form, which is Kamen Rider Valabard Kurogane, and it's pretty freaking cool. He basically dealt with his demons and was able to fully control his black flames, creating silver flames. But in this episode, they did bring back a plot that was kind of forgotten about, a detail I've forgotten about, which was all the people in the city knowing about Kimmies and things like that. We got the return of two other characters that I really didn't think we'd see again, which were the father and daughter who were looking for X-Rex. We got the return of them, and they were basically they're trying to get the angry mob of people, the angry mob of people to accept Kimmies and talk and show them how Kimmies are actually good and they want to be our friends and things like that. And we see that Ichinose does go off, and he defeats one of the prior amalgams that we saw. Even though they defeated Gialia, there are still some of those guys out there from previous episodes who became amalgams before. They now still have that amalgam power, and I don't remember this guy. This amalgam, I don't remember this amalgam. He was like a big bug thing, but I don't remember this amalgam at all. If you guys know, let me know down in the comment section, because I don't remember this amalgam. But Ichinose makes quick work of him, and he makes very quick work of him. And we see that the people are really hate Kimmies, hate the amalgams, and they hate the Kamen Riders too for saving people and things like that. But also, we got this little plot where Kudo tried to transform, and she says that she's out of power. Why is that still a thing? why is it still a thing that she runs out of freaking mana? Or like she runs out of like power, like she runs out of mana. Why is that still a thing for her? Like, old girl got a full rider form, well, basically like full rider form, a full secondary rider form, and she just got a new form last week in the last episode. Why is the whole her having no mana thing, or her running out of mana thing, like still a thing? Like, are we not gonna fix that? Like, and plus, Autotropes is inside of her now, so that's even more power that made her stronger. So why is that whole her running out of mana thing, like, or alchemy power, like, why her running out of alchemy, like, why is that still a thing? She still can like use the kimmies and stuff like that to like for attacks and stuff, but other than that, like, why is that still a thing? I don't get that. You have technically 3 different rider forms, and you still have that problem of running out of mana. It was dumb. But other than that, we see that the angry mob gets all riled up, and we did see that even Kachiki and Ogre Senna, the girl, Ichinose old like love interest, she makes an appearance in this episode too, and she talks about like how the Kimmies are her friends, and then the father and daughter up there talking about the Kimmies are good. But then the weird pretty boy announcer dude, like newscaster kind of vlogger dude, basically kind of gets the crowd all riled up again and saying that, hey, like, no, don't believe them, and he kind of gets them like off their side, and it basically gets the crowd to like start like trying to attack and chase them and stuff like that. And we did see that everybody kind of gets away, and they tell Ichinose to go home and check on your mom. So he goes to check on his mom, and when he gets there, he sees that Grion is in his freaking house, and Grion and Ichinose have a conversation with each other, and Grion's like, what's that? Why did you belittled my dream of making the world into gold and things like that? And Ichinose says like, no, like all humans have value and stuff like that. And then that's where they get into this big thing, and then that's where Ichinose's mom comes in, because she wasn't there and everything was dark and whatever. Grion's sitting there in the dark, not really dark, but like in the dark, looking at him. And Grion talks to Ichinose's mom, and he's like, yeah, your son has done a lot for me, stuff like that. And he broken half matters, even though he's a freaking homunculus, but broken half matters. And we see Ichinose is like, he leaves, and he tells him like, hey mom, I'm gonna explain everything to you later, stuff like that. So he leaves, and we get Kurogane. He's basically in Fuga's lab. Where is Fuga? I don't know where Fuga is, but he's in Fuga's lab. He's trying to fix his Valivard drive. He's trying to fix his driver. We see that Laculus is off, and she was basically like kind of looking for him and stuff. And while he's trying to fix his driver, he basically like, they talk about how like she's becoming human more and more every day, and she has like things that she actually wants to do when she becomes fully human. And Kurogane, he kind of like, he supports her on that. Like, he really has like made a big 180 from when he used to like freaking hate her, like excuse me, from when he like kind of like used to hate her, treat her like crap. But other than that, like, they have like a good conversation. She's like smiling naturally and stuff now. She really is starting to become human. So we see that he's trying to fix his driver, but it's not working, because like his driver currently isn't enough to handle his black flames, his Amaterasu. So we see that Gigas, big boy Gigas, the original, of the original recipe, tries to convince Kurogane. He appears there, and he tries to convince Kurogane to come with him I said, hey, I could teach you how to control your black flames. Your black flames basically came from me, so like you're like basically like a descendant of me and stuff like that. And Kurogane is like, no, I'm not doing all that. And he tries to attack him. We see he pulls out his Valverizer, the sword. He transforms, and we get the return of original Valivard, and he's fighting Gigas. He can't do anything to him. Gigas is kind of beating him up, because we all know, look man, even though Gigas has been in the shadows and all that, kind of just pushed to the wayside, Gigas ain't nothing to mess with, man. Gigas is still strong. He's still powerful. He's still like a threat. Like he's not just like he's still a threat. So he's beating the crap out of Kurogane. While he's beating up Kurogane, we see that he puts Kurogane like in this void, and he basically puts him in this void of black flames. And we also saw how Laculus also tried to transform, but you know, Gigas, like, he stopped her from transforming, and then he ends up he ends up getting her, and he ends up getting himself and Laculus out of there after, you know, Gigas goes after them. I didn't know he could ride in Mad Wheel. Like, it's weird. Like, we never seen that before. Like, he rides inside of Mad Wheel. We didn't see him actually inside of it, but Mad Wheel gets them out of there. And we see that Laculus, he's basically healing her up, patching her up, because, you know, she's actually bleeding. Like, she's actually bleeding like a person. So she's actually becoming human. And she basically tells him, when I become human, I want to, you know, help my sisters become human and stuff like that. And then that's when Kluto shows up, and Kluto basically says that it's too late for that because Autotrops is gone, Autotrops is dead. And she basically said that, yeah, I know Autotrops is dead. And I'm like, how did she know that? But that's when Gigas shows up again, and Gigas tries to basically take all of them down. We see that Kluto transforms into Dread, but like Dread V2, the one with the red side and the big freaking club. But I'm just like, I didn't even know she still had the Dread driver. She still had it. Like, how? I thought like Gideon kind of took that. I thought Autotrops had it, but I do remember that he made like a bunch of clones of it. So he also, like, we also know that Gideon has his own army of like Dread drones. So I mean, like, she still had it all this time. What does she need it for? Doesn't she have that super form that Gigas gave her? Like, doesn't she still have that? Why did she transform into Dread? I don't get it. I don't get it. But so she's fighting him, and he ends up using his powers to teleport her away. And then that's when we get into a fight between Kurogane and Gigas again. That's where he puts Gigas inside this black void of, you know, he thinks he's gonna die and stuff, and then he goes on this monologue talking about how he thought he conquered his black flames, how he didn't really accept them, but he conquered them, and he didn't really want the black flames because all they did was hurt people. They were the reason his parents died. You know, he hurt Kyoto with them, so he didn't really, he hated the power, but he still used it. But now he started to actually understand it, and he accepted that power, and then his flames go from being black to silver flames. And that's when everybody else kind of shows up. Oh, Nijigon. I remember Nijigon. Oh man. we got a little evil Nijigon out there. But he ends up turning his flame silver, and, you know, good, and freaking Gigas is like, oh man, what is this? What the heck? What is this? So that's when everybody else kind of shows up. Everybody else shows up there, seeing Kurogane fighting Gigas, and his driver transforms on its own. It absorbs some of the black flames, or the silver flames, and it transforms on its own. And then that's when Kurogane transforms into, he gets his new form. He transforms into Kurogane. Well, he transforms into Valivard Kurogane, Kamen Valivard Kurogane, and it's very metallic. It's very like robotic. It's like, it feels like some Iron Man type thing. He has a scouter, you know, stuff like that. Like, it's very robot. Like, it's very, like, it doesn't really feel, I mean, it's dope, don't get me wrong. It's a really, really dope looking form, and I love his rider kick is kind of lackluster, I guess. We also saw him dual wielding too. He dual wields both the Valivard swords, which was actually really cool. But yeah, he transforms into this form and he ends up fighting Gigist and he ends up defeating Gigist, and Gigist actually accepts him as a worthy successor to the Black Flames, to the Flames themselves. And we see him dual wielding in this form. We see him like just blasting, and he has like the blasters in his hands, the scouter, the scan stuff. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, I thoroughly like really liked this form. It kind of gave me like Metal Cluster Hopper vibes to a degree. It was just so robot. But other than that, since he defeated him, we see the evil Nijigon, El Drago, or El Dragoon. Yeah, El Dragoon. He's floating around, and he has like a deep voice and stuff, and he's like, and everybody's like, is that a dark Nijigon? And he's like, yeah. He's like, what's up? I'm here. He doesn't talk or anything, but he's like, come over here. I don't have any ill intentions, I promise. Like, he just feels like that. So he ends up taking Gigist's Philosopher's Stone. And now that's when Gideon shows up, and Gideon finally has all 3 Philosopher's Stones from all 3 Abyssal Kings. So we did see that luckily they were trying to grab little El Dragoon, and they grab him, and she grabs him, and she's like, yeah guys, look, I grabbed him. She was all happy about it, and bam, she gets shot through the chest. And I'm just like, yo, I gasped. It was so fast and sudden. Like, I gasped. I was like, yo, not Laculus, man. Not Laculus. It should have been Clucto. I'm sorry. I'm saying it. I said what I said. It should have been Clucto. Out of all 3 Abyssal sisters, Laculus was my favorite one anyway. And then it was my favorite girl. And she just, I like goth girls. And she said, why I had to be her? Why? Autotrope's got a peaceful death. Why? You know, but we see that she ends up getting killed, and we see that Gideon ends up taking the Philosopher's Stone, and he is absorbing all 3. He is absorbing all the Philosopher's Stones and creates his own driver. I forgot the name of the driver, but yeah, he creates his own driver. It looks kind of clunky, but it looks cool. I mean, I like the color scheme. It's like red, black, and gold. But yeah, he ends up doing that, and he ends up transforming into Kamen Rider Eldo, or Kamen Rider El Dorado. And yeah, it looked kind of cool. It's a cool looking form. It reminds me of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I forgot what card it is, but it reminds me of that. And yeah, he transforms into this form, and then he reveals that he has captured Minato, and now he's halfway turned Minato into a golden statue. So it's like, oh man, why y'all doing that to Minato, man? Like, when did you even capture Minato? Like, what happened there? But yeah, our episode ends off right there. So next episode is going to be the final episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard. We're gonna see all our riders in their ultimate forms going off and fighting Gideon with all the Kimmies and stuff like that behind them, and we're gonna get a big huge shot of every single freaking Kimmy we've seen in this story, and I'm ready for it, because I'm ready to see Gideon get his butt kicked and get the hell up out of here, you evil man. But man, I did really like this episode though. It's not the part where Laculus dying, man. That was messed up. Okay, and also Gideon just upright creating a evil Nijigon. Like, he is using the Philosopher's Stone and creating this little dark Nijigon. And I feel like Ichinose he's gonna gain this freaking Kimmy. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna get this Kimmy and he's gonna befriend it or something like that, because we got all the Kimmies. We caught them all. So it's only right that Ichinose ends up helping this Kimmy and, come to our side after they fully defeat Gideon. And where the heck is Fuga? Like, what happened to Fuga? I don't like after that Gialia episode. Like, where is Fuga? He makes like no appearances at all in this episode. So, especially all this important stuff that's going on right now, bro needs to be here. But most likely, I hope he's in the last episode, and I hope he does something, and I hope he's like out here helping and stuff like that, because we need all the help we can get, especially with how powerful Goodyon is right now. But yeah, man. And the whole like plot with with all the people knowing about Kimmy's and stuff, that was just all thrown in there. I felt like I had like missed an episode. I felt like I missed something, because it's like that's what it felt like. And I'm still on the whole like Kudo not having enough mana type stuff going on. Like, why is that still a thing? You got 3 forms, baby girl. If that, like, you should have fixed that by now. But other than that, this episode was fine. It was cool. Like, I like the fighting. I like the, you know, it wasn't just solely a Kurogane episode. I did like how they brought back the original Valivard. They let us see it. I kind of felt like we should have seen all the Valivard stuff, like at least let him transform into his regular Valivard form, and then at least let him turn into his rider form of Valivard, and then give us like original Valivard, and then we end up getting Valivard Kurogane. But I know we couldn't do that because, you know, the driver is messed up, so he can't transform as a Kamen Rider Valivard. But other than that, it was still cool seeing, you know, original Valivard, and I would have liked to see Laculus also get a chance to transform and turn into Valivard herself, and then we got double the Valivard fighting Gigist. But she tried to, and Gigist stopped her. But still, like, that would have been really cool to see both male and female Valivards fighting off Gigist, even though her Valivard form doesn't really feel like it is her own thing. The helmet looks a little different, but that's really about it. Like, you could have gave us a more feminine looking Valivard other than just some poses. But other than that, I'm gonna start rambling. This episode was fine. It was cool. New forms. Yeah, new form, new writer. The death of the best girl in the show. I'm sorry. But yeah, guys, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Kamen Rider Valivard. Wow, what you guys think of this episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard, episode 49? You guys let me know down in the comment section below. I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that noti bell, and remember, as I always say, stay Henshin.